hair.
Do you like my hair? Today's video is brought to you by Audible.
Click the link in the description or go to audible.com/pies or text pies to 500-500 to get a free book and 30-day free trial. And welcome to the newest episode of The Waga Pies. I'm Kasha, this is Rio. Today we're going to talk about hair in a professional environment. Why? Because once in a video before we said that in Japan you have to have black hair to work, and it stroked a lot of questions.
You say stroked?
Is it stroked? No. Struck. It struck a chord with people. People were worried, like, oh my gosh, my hair is red. Am I ever going to be able to have a job in Japan? So today we'll explain hair and hair in a professional environment. What's okay? What's acceptable? What isn't? We'll go deeper into the topic. Hair.
Do you like my hair?
Yeah, you're lucky we hired you.
There are over 237,000 hair salons in Japan. Just in Tokyo, there's 21,000 hair salons.
That's really crazy. The population of Iceland is like 300,000 or something, so there's almost as many hair salons in Japan as there are people in all of Iceland. So there's a lot to talk about.
Yep. In Japan, your hairstyle is more important than your face, your personality, or your fashion.
We're gonna start off with hair colors because it's what originally striked this conversation in our comments. We said that to work in a Japanese company, you have to have black hair. This is, of course, a great generalization.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of truth behind it.
Basically, there's a huge difference depending on the kind of job. 3 categories. One is fashion and apparel, and then there's the creators.
Creators, designers, media.
Yeah. Third one is salaryman. Out of these 3, the place where you'll expect dark black hair the most is salaryman. Definitely need to have black hair, and this is kind of a given because they'll think you're unprofessional and just kind of not good news. Like, just look at you like a bad news. Yeah, like a bad person. Yeah.
Many people commented under the video saying, I've been to Tokyo, I've seen people with a ton of weird colors. Well, that's because Tokyo is a giant city that has like a huge bustling creative media scene, and it's also one of the fashion capitals of the world. So of course in Tokyo a lot of creative people exist. However, if you wake up at 8 in the morning to go check out the salary man crowds passing through Shinjuku, it is black hair, white shirt, black and gray pants. That's thousands of people after thousands of people after thousands of people. And this is a strict policy in many companies. You will get asked, I mean, you don't even go to a job interview with not black hair if you're getting a salaryman position. So.
Yeah. They saw 2 out of this crowd of salarymen, and obviously these 2 people with crazy dyed hair is going to stand out much more than these black hair people.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
On top of that, when people are creative here, they're far more creative than I think their like Western counterparts. So it's much easier to remember the people with the amazing, colorful, great hairstyles than the thousands of people with just black hair. I'm really happy that I get to live in a city that has such diversity among such lack of diversity. But why is it so important to have black hair?
There's like just a belief that you have to have it, and that's so strong in a lot of companies and a lot of company settings that, like, if you go there with even remotely a small tiny bit of brown colored hair, you would just look crazy. It's unprofessional. Like how these dyed haired people stand out is like the perfect example. It's like you'll just stand out of everyone else as unprofessional because you're you're not like the rest, kind of.
So it seems just very unprofessional.
Yeah.
Why is brown hair even frowned upon? It's associated with delinquency, the way like tattoos are associated with mafia.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, a good example of the black hair rule is that end of last year, there was a girl who sued her high school because her high school was requiring her to dye her hair black. And this was in Osaka. The girl's natural hair color was brown, and the school was requiring her to dye it black. Apparently they were making her dye it a lot, and her head was starting to get bothered, and the school's response was like, well, if we had a foreigner with blonde hair, they would have to dye their hair black too. So this is a very good example of...
I was working at this event company agency kind of thing, and they'll give you jobs relating to events. So I took this job and it said black hair only, so I've dyed my hair the night before and went to this job. And basically what the job is about is setting up around 100,000 chairs in a concert hall right when this job started, and there's like already 2 or 3 people with a slightly brown hair getting sent home. I mean,
really?
This is pretty... It's kind of funny because it has nothing to do with setting up chairs and brown hair.
Yeah, and this is before the event. It's not like it affected anyone attending the event.
There's no one there.
In the job post, it said you need to have black hair.
Exactly.
So job posts will have that written out.
Yeah, I always thought it was normal. I mean, from like a Western standpoint, I think it's not. Right?
Yeah, I think that's... I don't know. I think in the States, maybe a job can say like no unnatural hair colors or something. Well, I mean, in the States, they definitely can't say only one colored hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what about your school? Did you have any of this in your school? Did people have like... You went to an international school?
So I went to international
so
school. ちょっと違うんですよね. Yeah. My sister's school is a public school. So she's in junior high right now. She's still not allowed to dye her hair. Nobody is allowed to dye her hair. So I don't know. I think there might not even be a single school in Japan except that's like strictly Japanese that allows hair.
Thing that you kind of get confused about when you move here is how old people are. Because people look very young here, and one thing I was told was if you want to know if a girl's over 18 or under 18, if her hair is dyed, she's for sure over 18. Interesting tip.
What a story, Mark.
Let's move on to foreigners, because many people were concerned that they would be jobless in Japan forever. If you're in Japan and you're a foreigner and you're looking for a job, jobs that take foreigners take into account that foreigners don't look Japanese. So you can you can have your natural hair color. That my friend dyed her hair. She's not Japanese. She has naturally black hair, and she dyed her hair brown, and the company asked her to dye it black. And so she had to, but natural hair color, of course, it's all right. You're working in, generally speaking, if you're a foreigner, you're going to work in a foreign-friendly company, and they have to make exceptions. And it's already like a bit outside of super, super, super traditional Japan if they're hiring you.
In Japan, hair holds a very strong significance, and you can see this from the fact that there are so many different brands of hair gel and hair wax in Japan. Have you noticed that? Yeah, not to mention the hair salons. Surprisingly, in Japan, if you go to a job interview without gel in your hair, that's seen as less attractive than having gel in your hair.
Like it seems unkempt.
Yeah,
unkept.
Exactly. So basically, it's better to have a kept hair with a lot of gel in your hair than really messy hair.
Yeah, some jobs will see you as irresponsible if your hair is not like... To me, what's impressive is Japanese women look like they hit a hair salon every morning. The way like my friends in college would get ready to go out on a Saturday night, the way they do their hair then, it seems like Japanese women do that every day. Like their hair, or they just have naturally the most beautiful hair in the world. I'm not sure which one it is, but their hair looks like so good every day.
It's every day, bro.
And it makes like me as a foreigner feel like I'm a dirty person because I just can't keep up with that amount of hair care. Yeah, it's like it changes. I mean, the way it looked like 3 hours ago is different from how it looks now. I can't control it like that, and I don't want to like stress it out by straightening it every day, because then you get heat damage. Hard to live in this perfect world. What about facial hair? How's facial hair seen?
If you go to a job interview with facial hair, you will look very irresponsible and messy. So basically, you just shave it all off.
How often is it right to shave? Because men get stubble, right? So like, is stubble okay?
Every morning.
Really?
Stubble is not okay.
It's every day, bro.
Unless you're a creator or work in apparel, stubble is not okay.
Do you know about the man bun trend in the not Japan? I haven't seen man buns in Japan.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. Why it's not a thing is like very simple, and it's just because like it just makes people look messy. You just be perceived as messy if you have a ponytail in your head. Yeah.
So I know some people want to call it samurai hairstyle, so that I don't know, it sounds cooler than man bun. Japanese people aren't really doing it as much as everyone else. Just letting you know.
Nice.
Just letting you know, all you pseudo samurais out there.
So in general, in Japan, your hair should have low profile and it shouldn't really stand out.
Generally speaking, if you want to survive in a traditional Japanese company.
Alright.
But don't worry, foreigner, you will be okay.
Alright.
We'd like to thank Audible, who is our sponsor for this video. If you haven't checked out the Audible app out yet, make sure to check the code in the description, or audible.com/pies, or text PIES to 500-500. The Audible app lets you listen to audio books. It's awesome because you can do it anywhere without having to read. So I sometimes run while listening to a book if I'm doing a really long run. Chris does that. And the cool thing about Audible is that if you're listening to Audible on your phone and then you want to listen to Audible on your iPad or your computer, it syncs the spot you left off on, so you don't have to like go searching for the spot. Better than a book.
Yep.
Imagine having two books, one in your office and one at your home. They don't sync automatically. Because it's a new year, we'd like to recommend an inspiring book for you. It's Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. It's written by a Japanese author and was super popular when it came out. And it's all about minimalizing your life and minimalizing the things you need in life so that you don't live with so much clutter. And it's a great way to start the year.
But yeah, my room is super dirty, so I should probably get it immediately.
Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. We read the comments a lot. This video came out of the comments that you all leave. So we love hearing from you, and thank you so much. See you all in the next video.